Hello fancy managers and welcome back to another video from myself, Will, and fantasyfootballhub.co.uk. As always, in this video we're going to be taking a brief look at how my team got on last game before moving on to my team of transfers and my captaincy ahead of the upcoming game week. We're also going to be touching on a potential double game week in 35 and a blank game week in 36. Let's get into it. If you are new around here, this is effectively a diary of my season, tracking the highs and the lows along the way, aiming for my fourth top 1k finish. So last week I decided to take a minus 8-point hit. I was kind of forced into it a little bit. You know, I probably could have got away with -4, but I had injuries to Cresswell, I had injury to Rafinha, and I kind of wanted to get rid of those two. And, you know, with the upcoming blank game week as well, it's important that my squad was as fit as possible. So I decided to bring in Holding, bring in Son, and also to fund that move, I did need a bit of extra money. So I also took an additional -4 to get rid of Watkins and bring in Iheanacho. I sort of regret getting rid of Watkins a little bit, but I did need that fund. And, you know, Son has already come in with a 12-point haul. Rafinha got 0, so I'm probably, you know, overall about even on the -8 so far. So overall, not, you know, terrible transfers. And I think, you know, all of those picks are picks that I do want long term. So yeah, I'm fairly happy that I decided to go with the -8. Overall, you know, my team performed okay. I think that you know, the front 7 there are fairly template picks. I was a little bit disappointed in Mo Salah, you know, only coming off the bench for 1 point. A little bit disappointed in Jota as well. You know, they had a really good fixture, so I was hoping for a bit more from those guys. Obviously, Kane banging in the first game, absolutely delighted. And then him going off injured was a bit of a kick in the teeth as well. But you know, when your triple captain scores 12 points, you can never really complain too much. The whole debate between, you know, who was the best captain out of Kane and Son, both of them ended up getting 12 points. I do think that, you know, Kane was the better pick. He just got a little bit unlucky with that injury. Iheanacho, obviously I'm recording this on Thursday, so he's yet to play. Hopefully, you know, he can do the business for me tonight against West Brom. Really disappointed at the back, though. You know, I was hoping for a lot more from, you know, between Martinez, Luca Dean, Diaz, and Holding. Brought Holding in. He had a good fixture against Fulham, not producing. So I'm hoping those guys can begin to turn it around. I would really like to have Trent Alexander-Arnold in there. That's the one player which I think, you know, I really should have gone for. He's probably one of my favourite picks in FPL, and I just couldn't squeeze him in, and I'm really regretting not finding a way to do it at the moment. Okay, before we do jump into my team of transfers and my captaincy for the upcoming game week, I did want to just touch on, you know, the upcoming potential for double game week and a blank game week. And got to stress, this is definitely not confirmed. This is just, you know, what I saw from Ben Crellin this morning, and he says that he's about 70% sure that this will be the schedule, so absolutely not confirmed. I would also say that we're unlikely to get confirmed news before the Game Week 33 deadline. You know, as you can see, that Aston Villa with some fairly decent fixtures, you know, West Brom, Everton, then they got a double game week, Man United against Everton, then Crystal Palace. So quite a nice run there. In general, though, I'm just not a big fan of Villa at the moment. You know, they don't look quite right. They seem to be, you know, limping towards the finish line in the Premier League. And I think it's probably a lot to do with, you know, the lack of Jack Grealish. Crystal Palace, I'm not going to go near, you know, to be honest. I think if you're free hitting in Game Week 35, you got your free hit chip left, then, you know, you could potentially look at, you know, a Palace player. They do have a pretty good set of fixtures, but, you know, for me, they just seem to pretty much be on the beach at the moment, and their fixtures around that aren't particularly good. So personally, I'm not going to be looking at Crystal Palace players. Everton, I think there are a few options. You know, it sounds like Dominic Calvert-Lewin could be coming back in. So if he plays against Arsenal and he's looking good, then he could be an option. Southampton could offer some options. Obviously, they have a blank game week this game week, but then they play Leicester, a little bit of a tricky match. And then they've got Liverpool and Crystal Palace in the double game week. Then they've got Fulham and Leeds. So actually quite a nice end to the season. So yeah, I think potentially you could look at Danny Ings. They do look a little bit on the beach, so I wouldn't be rushing to get their players in, but certainly a decent option. Now, the next 4 teams, Arsenal, Chelsea, Leicester, and Manchester United, I think do offer some really good potential. One, because they're better teams. You know, Arsenal, Chelsea, Leicester, Man United, they've got a lot of good FPL assets. The big caveat there is that they do have a likely banking game week 36. So if you don't have your free hit, if you don't have a wildcard, anything like that, then you've really got to be careful to make sure that you've got, you know, a good selection of players in that game week 36, because there are, you know, a lot of people have Manchester United players, Chelsea players, Leicester players already. So, you know, if you've got a lot of these players in your team, great, they've got a double game week, but you've got to make sure that, you know, your team isn't completely threadbare for 36. So again, I've got to stress that this is far from confirmed, but I do think it has some valuable information. And if Ben thinks it's, you know, 70% chance are likely, then I do think we need to strongly consider how this impacts our transfers this game week. Okay, so this is how the team's shaping up for the upcoming game week. Overall, you know, it's a blank game week, and I do have a full playing squad. I am, of course, going to be hoping that Phillips plays, and of course I'm going to be making, if I do make a transfer, it's going to be a last-minute transfer after we've, you know, had the Liverpool press conference. As I said, if Phillips is confirmed out, then I'm going to be very tempted to do Kane to Vardy. I did want to hold a free transfer this game week, but that transfer is looking very good. I do, you know, the fixtures after Kane comes back from the blank game week, though, are very, very strong. I think he's got Sheffield United and then Leeds in the double game week. But, you know, considering Vardy has got a fixture this game week and he's got a double when Kane only has a single, then I think that probably justifies the move. However, I would then, of course, have some issues fielding, you know, a full-strength team in game week 36. So it's not a decision that I'm going to take lightly. One of the players I've been looking to get rid of for quite a while now is Luca Dean, but I've just been having loads of really annoying defensive injuries that he's just somehow stayed in my team. He is, of course, going to continue to stay in my team until Everton have played that double game week now, which, you know, he probably won't score any points in the double game week, but you know, I think considering I've held him this long, then it would be a little bit silly to get rid of him now. The other moves that I am slightly considering, if Phillips is ruled out, is potentially taking a hit to get Trent Alexander-Arnold, and that would probably involve downgrading Son or downgrading Kane as well to get in, you know, a double game week player that sort of fits alongside that. I haven't really given that option a whole lot of thought, but it is sort of in the back of my mind that if Phillips is confirmed out, I might look at a way to transfer in Trent Alexander-Arnold and downgrade one of Son or Kane in order to fund that. But I probably won't do that. I don't think that it really justifies a hit at this stage. In terms of captaincy, it's going to come down to Salah and Fernandes. I think that, you know, Salah probably got the slight edge. You know, if you look at the Hub's point prediction algorithms and all the other algorithms out there, Salah probably, you know, a home match against Newcastle. That's a very, very favourable fixture. I do quite like Fernandes, though. You know, Manchester United and Fernandes tend to do better away from home. And, you know, that Leeds match could potentially have a lot of goals in it. So I do quite like Fernandes as an option as well. I know that he hasn't been performing that well in recent weeks, or neither has Mo Salah. But for me, both of those have really good fixtures, and it's going to be one of those two. At the moment, slightly leaning towards Salah, but could definitely end up with Fernandes. If you did enjoy this video and you'd like to see more content like this, then please do drop the video a like and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. But otherwise, I hope you have a good game week, and I'll see you on the other side. Bye for now.